Good morning to you here at Bridgewater State University, and good evening to our audience everywhere, especially in Jordan and TTU, Tafila Technical University. We always appreciate these opportunities that we get together virtually. As I said before we started the recording, this is our fourth day of celebrating the International Education Week. We really had very productive, very successful, very informative, and very inspiring events on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, some lectures, events, workshops, and today, of course, we have this one, and then at 3:30 we'll have another one about immigration. All these different events been sponsored by different departments, but I would say global programs, which I'm the academic director of global programs, Asian Studies Program, MENA, Middle East and North Africa Studies, and of course, our big sponsor is the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., the international unit. So welcome to this session, and I will turn it to Laura, my friend Laura. She will introduce our speaker.
Good morning, everyone. Salam, welcome. I am very pleased to be able to introduce Dr. Buthina Alobidyeen. We had the pleasure to meet in person a couple of years ago and spend some time. I had a tour of the university. She was an excellent host for me at that time. She is the chair of her department now, which is very nice. Congratulations to you. She had received her master's degree from Bridgewater State University and then went on to receive her PhD and move on in her career. So we're very happy to be able to host you at our event for today. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce you. Please, the floor is yours, Dr. Buthina.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Laura, and thank you, Dr. Jabbar, again for this lovely invitation. And it's always a pleasure to be with you. And please allow me to say hello to my student as well, my master student, and thank you for joining us, guys. I do understand it is Thursday night. And yeah, and they have a class on Saturday, so which means they just have only one day off, which is a Friday. So thank you again for joining us. If you don't mind, Laura, can I share my PowerPoint? Yeah, okay. The big title for this presentation, it is Jordan over the last 20 months, cooperation and student learning outcomes. And I choose to talk about the role of education, technology, and e-learning during COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on the higher education sector in Jordan. And the majority of the information I will share with you today, guys, it will be from the Ministry of Higher Education report. I think the report 2020, at the end of 2020. With regard to this meeting, I will start with introduction, and after that I will move to talk about the impact of using e-learning during the COVID-19 on Jordanian higher education institution, statistics about e-learning in Jordan in the light of the coronavirus pandemic, and I will talk a little bit about the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on higher education sector in Jordan. Also, I have a recording video for my undergraduate student, and I'm not sure if Muad Najjar with us today, he as well as a master student or a graduate student can share his experience with us. I have this video for, I think, 4 students, 3 of them from business school and 1 from engineering, and all of them from TTU. And I will end my presentation with conclusion. So with regard to the introduction, as we all know, our if we're talking about e-learning, it is nowadays it's not a choice, and so we don't have any choice for having online courses, and all of us suffering from COVID-19, but it is as anything in this life, we have positive impact on our life. So in the third world, we start using or start, I would say, believe in online courses. So the COVID-19 pandemic poses unprecedented challenges to education. Thus, joining this webinar will allow the participant to learn more about how universities have transitioned from in-person to virtual instruction and how they have managed this period of adoption challenges and opportunities. At the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic has spread across the globe, nearly every country had to react. So today, the world finds 99% of our formally enrolled students in post-secondary education affected. These students are serving as part of a global experiment with a wide variety of modalities being tried for the continued provision for their post-secondary education. So this webinar will look at main equity implications, such as the digital divide exposing socioeconomic inequity of distance learning, recognizing these equity challenges as early as possible should allow higher education institutions and governments to fashion interventions that might get the impacts and devise interventions that improve student retention. This is a task for government, higher education institutions, development partners, and individuals alike. So if we would like to start talking about the impact of using e-learning during the COVID-19 on Jordanian higher education institution. So COVID-19 pandemic motivate educators to make use of new technologies to enhance teaching, learning, and overall education performance. Moreover, COVID-19 pandemic has presented a need for a greater integration of technology as a platform and environment to educate students. This has been met with great challenges in terms of best practices and empirical research to guide instructors. So the distance learning tools implemented in response to the education crisis caused by the COVID-19 pandemic have revealed the potential of new technology, especially those using e-learning and information communication technology, ISTs, in education. I would like to talk about, I think the main important in this presentation is going to be the information from the Ministry of Higher Education report. So, okay, so the faculty members of most Jordanian university, if not all, have begun to get online training on how to use e-learning and distance learning tools to deliver online teaching to their students. At the same time, faculty and staff members are learning how to use online learning platforms. I think our last day was on campus, I think 12 of the March 2019. Previous, they are using only the delivery through face-to-face teaching. However, the shift to online modes has raised many queries on the quality of education. Furthermore, the quality of education and excellent infrastructures, such as computer and IT modern equipment reception, are now in massive demand, and universities are changing universities, are changing their teaching modules with use of intellectual capital. Thus, an unexpected shift from face-to-face learning to online learning, there are some difficulties faced by students and lecturers. Moreover, most of the higher education institutions in Jordan have significant issues with technological infrastructure in rural areas. Thus, the standard of online education may be a critical issue that needs additional focus. Therefore, top management of universities in Jordan must be provided with recommendations for developing and understanding of the implication of e-service quality, information equality, system use, and user satisfaction concerning e-learning success. All the status here, it is from the report of Ministry of Higher Education. So at the beginning of June 2020, the Jordanian Ministry of Higher Education issued a report which conclude that number of courses that have been computerized in the public universities since the beginning of pandemic amount to 20,258 courses. These courses accounted for 80% of the courses offered in the second academic semester schedule for 2019 to 2020 in the public university of Jordan, while the ratio of computerized courses to the course presented in a private university for the same semester accounted for 94%. This recently released report also showed that number of those who logged in the electronic applications and platform of the public university was around 326,060 for 3 students, accounting for 77% of the total registered student, while 133,749 students logged into the electronic education platforms of the private university, accounting for 89% of the total students in these universities. Also, the report showed that this percentage continued to rise, reaching until the 6th week of utilizing e-learning in terms of computerized courses to 95% in public universities and 98% in private university, and increase of 12% for public university and 4% for private university. According to this report, the number of students benefiting from computerized courses is around 417,373 students in the public university and 168,294 students in the private university, and increase of 90,730. And the percentage of beneficiary students during the 6th week reached 86 in the public university and 86 in the private universities. Also, with regard to the report also showed that university theses discussed in Jordanian university through virtual telecommunication methods for the end of the last April amount 286, including 207 master theses and 79 doctorate dissertation. The report stressed that the e-learning experience in Jordanian university was evaluated through the Jordanian Ministry of Higher Education. The report also showed that the level of student satisfaction with effectiveness of e-learning was around 54%, according to the study conducted by the Jordanian Ministry of Higher Education, which was designed with 4 topics, namely the methods and technologies with a satisfaction rate of 56%, the electronic content with a satisfaction rate of 53%, the effectiveness of teaching with a satisfaction rate 57%, and assessment with a satisfaction rate of 51%. Also, the report showed that the rate of satisfaction with effectiveness of e-teaching for master students reached 71% and 53% for undergraduate program students, while it reached 58% for intermediate diploma students. The report emphasized that the result of the study conducted by the ministry did not show a statistically significant difference in the degree of satisfaction with the effectiveness of e-learning among students living in rural areas compared to those living in urban areas. The rate of satisfaction reached 55% among students in villages, and 54% among students in cities. The report stated that the highest satisfaction rate was recorded for students of humanities at about 60%, followed by information technology students at 55%. Also, the report indicated that according to the survey, the percentage of students who use the educational platforms provided by their university reached 83% and 92% for instructors of the Jordanian universities who use these platforms. The report showed that 65% of students reported that university provided instructional information to them on how to use these platforms, while 51% of them reported that universities provided the technical assistance when needed. The report also indicated that the survey results show that 73% of the students use their smartphones to access the educational platforms for learning purposes, and 78% of university instructors use laptops, while 87% of the students expressed their desire to implement the pass-fail mechanism for the second semester for the academic year 2019-2020. It's worth noted here that the e-learning plan adopted by the Jordanian Ministry of Higher Education since the start of this crisis, including training courses for administrators of e-learning centers in the Jordanian public and private universities to provide them with skills needed to design the teaching process and develop electronic content for the academic courses. The report indicated that a guide has been developed to clarify the designing sequence of the educational content online in cooperation with the IDRAC Foundation for the Education and Community Development. And this is part of Queen Rania Foundation. As for the distance assessment mechanism, the report showed that information technology and electronic transformation directorate in the Jordanian Ministry of Higher Education held 3 training workshops to explain the principles of mechanism of distance assessment And this training course was for all the faculty members in a private, for number of faculty members in private and public universities. The report indicated during the coronavirus crisis, the Jordanian Ministry of Higher Education of Jordan announced an expositional research course for 56 research projects and identify 1,079 free sites that provide internet service that students of the Jordanian public and private university can use to take final exams. With regard to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on higher education in Jordan, the impact in Jordanian higher education sector and the need for e-learning methodologies are also follows. Modern teaching methodology developed through the crisis have a great influence in terms of cooperation and collaboration and sharing experiences related to best practices in teaching and learning globally at the national level as well. New learning and technology approaches that utilize ICT and digital technologies have enhanced student skills in producing digital artifacts, critically questioning online materials, and using ethical digital practices. The information available from the conduct study performed by Professor Shpool and his professor from Jordanian University in 2020 indicated that lecturers responded positively to the opportunities to modernize their teaching approach and foster greater independent learning with their classes in responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. Also, the information available also indicate that overall the online training provided during the COVID-19 has positive developmental and learning experiences for those who attended the courses, while most participants indicated that they were already comfortable in using digital technologies with their teaching during the coronavirus crisis. The results indicated that the online training on the use of ICT and e-learning tools and platforms helped them to realize further opportunities to integrate into student-focused and cooperative learning techniques. It's clear that more creative, problem-based work in the e-learning environment allow for greater engagement with content and idea, resulting in greater knowledge transfer and transformation. The application of Philip methodology was proven to have a positive impact on the student learning process during the lockdown in Jordan due to the coronavirus, especially for graduate students. Whereas the use of a problem-based learning could not be that effective during the lockdown due to the nature of the online-based learning, where flip methodologies were used in online learning during COVID-19 pandemic in Jordan. This appeared to have enhanced teaching and learning because it allows extra practices and discussion from students and instructors as well. As we witnessed during the COVID-19 pandemic, designing learning for the 21st century practices of learners rather than using digital tools to enhance existing practices seem vital and fundamental. The movement to online e-learning has resulted in fewer classrooms being required, thus save expenses for the universities. There are benefits for instructor and universities in introducing e-learn stable fixed content for larger cohorts of learners. One of the drawbacks of implementing the e-learning during the pandemic is that further investigation is required in regard to a potential digital divide in terms of equity of access to online learning modules. The students see that the utilization of e-learning methodologies during the lockdown has some benefits, and whereas others preferring to have face-to-face classes. However, weekly quizzes are required to add motivation. All in all, more not less structure was required. The courses, e-content material are available 24/7 for the student via Moodle andLearning platform. And they used to use in Jordan as well, Microsoft Teams and Zoom. General points about the move to online learning and Google Class. General points about the move to online learning in the Jordanian University, whether online courses result in increased or decreased workload for lecturers needs further investigation. A training is required at a basic level for both lecturers and students in order to participate fully on online learning. The conclusion: e-learning seems to be the forthcoming trend. So we don't have any choice anymore. So we should just now to think how we can improve and develop our, I would say, institution and our classing, design our classes to fit with this new, I would say, trend. It has been extending widespread. The online method of learning is best suited for everyone, depending on their availability and comfort. Many people choose to learn at a convenient time. This enables the learners to access updated content whenever they want it, due to the wide set of benefits it gives to students. In conclusion, e-learning has become quite popular among students across the world, particularly during the lockdown period due to the COVID-19 pandemic. E-learning is not the result of the current situation crisis due to the outbreak of coronavirus in most countries around the world. It is a transformation into a pandemic prevented the continuation of the educational process in its traditional face-to-face form in all educational institutions at all levels. And now I will share with you guys, I just need to stop this. I will share with you my student experience with, my student will talk about their experience with online courses.
Like just like Rami, they didn't like care as much about attending classes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because he already know that the classes are recorded.
Exactly.
So he.
Sorry guys, do you hear? Can you see the video, guys?
We see, we hear, we see the picture and,
Okay.
and the audio.
He knew he can go back to them. That's why
exactly. And there was a decision where no one can be absent. Can attend lectures,
No attending marks, you can say, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I have another one for you guys. Let's talk about the after, the post, you can say online education process.
Yeah.
What did you face? What was different?
It was really hard gaining friends again.
You lost your social skills, you can say.
Yeah, I can see that, but like
Dr. Buthina, is it
was
only
hard because I got
narration or video?
I got used to being by my.
Sorry?
Is it only narration over picture, voiceover, or video?
No, it's video.
We see only still photo with a voiceover. This is okay. We can listen to that.
No, 1 second, please. Let me see what's the problem. 1 second, please.
Like just like Rami, they didn't care as much about attending classes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can you see the video, please?
Yes, it was going now.
Okay, thank you.
The classes are recorded.
Exactly.
So he can go back to them.
He knew he can go back to them. That's why
exactly. And there was a decision where no one can be can't be absent or you can attend.
No attending marks, you can say. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So I have another one for you guys. Let's talk about the after, the post, you can say online education process.
Yeah.
What did you face? What was different?
It was really hard gaining friends again.
You lost your social skills, you can say.
Yeah, I can see that, but like it was hard because I got used to myself. Like I got used to being by myself. So like talking to you guys again, like feels fresh. Feels good. It does.
Okay, for me, the hardest part was actually to get dressed in the morning, to wake up. That was
like that simple.
I told you. Yeah, exactly. I told you, I'm a very lazy person. I don't like getting up like really early and get rest and do all that stuff. But I still, I do it because because I have to do it because I'm a good person. I'm a good student. Yeah, I need to get my grades. I think one of them is like the participation in classes. And I used to be like involved, just
more involved.
Yeah, exactly. I have to be more involved, and I need to let the instructors or professors to know me, like I'm here. In the online, there was no participation marks even. They didn't care much as they much care inside the campus.
What about you?
Well, the most common thing happened to me was, oh my God, Jihan Kifik, and I know, who are you? They know me because of the online. They know my name. They know me because I used to open camera with my instructors. And no, because I like the doctor, the professor who gave us the lecture. But now they go, oh my God, Jihan, how are you? And I say, oh my God, who are you? That's, oh my God, that was really uncomfortable and really awkward. Also, one of the things that I faced now, as he said, I must be known. I was known as my name, just my name. Now they must know me, or they must know my face, or how do I look in person, so they can say, oh my God, you are Jihan. I mean, the doctors or the professors or the instructors, when I get to lectures and they say, introduce yourself, I say Jihan, they say, oh my God, you are Jihan. So yeah, that was a good point.
Okay, we're gonna end the session with my final question. Any funny moments happened to you during during the online classes? I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some interesting stories about this. Yeah,
Yeah, we all lost count. Like, first of all, I think we all faced it when the mic opens. Like you would be like, oh my God, what is this? I just want to leave. I have plans to do. I want to sleep. I'm snoring. And then you find out that your mic was open.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, it didn't.
one day I was cleaning the house and I was attending a lecture. And my sister was calling me, Jihan, Jihan, Jihan. And I'm in front of her, but she kept on screaming, Jihan. And I say, what? And I cursed a lot.
Okay, that was you. Okay, I know.
And yeah, and once the professor said, who's screaming? Who's cussing? And I closed the laptop.
No,
I died in my place. And it was really awkward. Oh my God. That day, I just wanted to die.
I can't imagine.
I seriously just wanted to die. But the good point was the doctor didn't know me.
Good.
Okay, for you now.
Okay. One time I remember I was like in an electricity basics class. Yeah, so I was in the garage doing something. At the same time, I was attending the class. So it was like taking the material theoretically
No way.
and applying it
At the same time.
at the same time. So I was talking to my father. I'm asking about the car battery. I'm telling him, do I need to take off the negative one first or the positive one first? And at the same time, I didn't know that the mic was open. So who answered me? It was super awkward, super embarrassing. Yeah, Rami.
Actually, mine is kind of bad because I was doing something that's bad. One of the students asked, like for me, it was a stupid question. Yeah, so I mocked the student without knowing that the mic was open. Yeah, he asked the professor like a really stupid question. So I was and I did not know the mic was open. So yeah, the professor actually he like kind of lectured me that you don't need to mock your students. Like they're not all like well experienced or they know everything like you do. I was like, okay, I'm sorry, I did not know that. I did not know that my mic was open, and I apologize to my.
Did you mock the students again?
Yeah, when the mic was closed, I did it again. Exactly. I used to make sure.
So that's what you learned. Close the mic.
Exactly. Close the mic always. Always secure mic. Always secure mic.
By the way, we all learned something.
Exactly. Yeah.
From that like period of time, we all learned something. So I'm gonna ask.
Okay, and I have another one.
Let's stop here and just pause for a few minutes. If someone has a comments or question, please
Okay.
go ahead. Participants, if you have any comments or question, you can raise your hand. You can post it on your question on the chat. We don't want this to be just one.
Could I start?
Yes, please.
It was wonderful to be able to see the students in their own voices interacting with one another, to be able to share their experiences. It is so interesting to me to find that the students in Jordan and the students in Bridgewater have had the exact same experiences and the exact same attitudes about online learning. I mean, really, basically a one-to-one correspondence of the what did one student say? I'm lazy, I don't want to get up and get dressed. And the mistakes with the mics, and their sense of how happy they are to be in the classroom, to have the social interaction and the awkwardness of returning to the classroom and being able to be face to face with one another. So thank you very much for recording that and sharing that with us.
You are welcome. Dr. Jabbar, if you don't mind, we can as well hear one of my master student experience.
I don't mind. Go ahead. Just
okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
معاذ مرحبا.
أهلا دكتورة أهلا.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
If you
Thank
don't
you.
mind, would you like to share your experience with us? I do understand you took a couple of online courses.
Yes, I take a couple of online courses. It's a mixed experience, to be honest. Sometimes we have benefits and advantages for this kind of courses, and there are too many disadvantages, to be honest. The advantages I find in such online courses was related to the flexibility of the place that you can attend the course from. Sometimes I attend some lectures from the car while I'm driving back to Amman. Sometimes I was in the work or doing some job and listening to the lecture and participating. But on the other hand, sometimes you couldn't concentrate really on the topic for the course. Also, for the exams, sometimes some lectures you didn't take it seriously because you have open sources, you have open sources to have questions, to have answers. Let's say about also the physical interface with your lecturer, your mentor. You miss this also. Sometimes you are not fully concentrate with the lecture. Maybe some guys suffer from long hours of working. Then he fall asleep while he's in the lecture. So it's a mixed, let's say, experience of advantages and disadvantages. For my recommendation regarding this topic, there is some material, there is some lectures or topics can be learned online. Other, you couldn't take it online because you need the full benefit of it, and it needs some skills to present yourself, to face your colleagues, to let's say share conversation, share your opinion. If you are not fully concentrated and your colleagues not fully concentrated, you will not get the benefit of the lecture and the course.
Sure.
So this is my experience related to this topic.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Do we still have time, Dr. Jabbar?
I'm going to put some people on the spot. Dr. Gloria.
Yes.
Yes.
I know a couple of students at Bridgewater State who did not have a freshman year experience and have come on campus as a sophomore and are having a great deal of difficulty socializing because of all of that time spent away, not only from the university, but from their high school. I'm wondering if you are finding that as well at Tafila.
Agreed. It's yes, it's kind of as you said, and also Dr. Buthina mentioned, is a process. So when we have this all of a sudden, remember in Bridgewater State University by March, we just flipped. You said, okay, you need to go online. So psychologically, we weren't really ready.
Right.
I would also say technically in terms of the IT preparation, although our IT is an excellent, they do excellent service to students, all of us, but we weren't really ready as well. But we just took advantage, and then we were really creative. And the challenges, by the way, is still with us, And I think this is how I view it. With challenges comes a lot of opportunities. That's for sure. If you just surrender, then you cannot move, one step forward. But if you say, okay, this is a challenge, but this is how I'm going to overcome it, and you overcome it with the three things. One is you engage your students and be transparent with them. Say these are difficult, not just for you, but us as faculty, because you know this in face-to-face sometimes this kind of cover up because we as faculty, we would like to have the authority there, and you know I'm the information provider and the knowledge provider and things. I think what the COVID-19 does and has been doing is remove that really fake obstacles between us and our students, the world being destroyed. So we're working together, students and faculty, because this is our class. And in a way, as Dr. Buthina mentioned, we become managers of our time, which is really great because 2/3 of the time goes with the students to have conversation, as students actually illustrated in their video. Anyway, let's see if we can have, Aya. Of course, Aya, I'm giving her a chance to speak for two reasons. One, I know she will speak eloquently about this. And also my granddaughter name is Aya. So Aya, the floor is yours.
How are you guys? I'm so happy to meet you again. And the benefit of the pandemic is to meet you, Dr. Laura and Dr. Jabbar and everyone. And the most important is that I never knew Dr. Buthina or meant her class face to face until this pandemic come. And we have a lot of the projects to do. One of them is Jovital. It was my biggest change in my life, I can say, because Jovital is talking about virtual learning from a different college around the world, Europe, from Pennsylvania, Italy, Germany, a lot of countries with the Jordanian University. Pandemic.
That's right. Any other comments?
It's like to attend in a global such as yours and active with the culture of exchange of culture, because of the fact that you continue to do stay and academic services have become easier for everyone. I can attend to your lecture, Dr. Jabbar, in any time you posted it in public. When I'm still in Jordan, that it became my positive thing in pandemic. And in the same time, my lecture became, as you see, I manage my time very well to see all my lecture and attendance, then to work, have money. This was my, my upstart to developing myself and to meet people such as you.
Thank you, Aya. You are mute, Dr. Jabbar.
So that it's better to be muted, so people they can speak. Any other voice, please? Okay. Let's see.
Do we still have time, please?
Yeah, we have 10 minutes.
Okay, good.
So let's see if I bring Dr. Ahmed al-Zu'bi. Don't worry, speak in Arabic. Dr. Buthina will translate. I know you speak English, but I'm just...
Ahmed, Dr. Jabbar. Ahmed, he's one of my master students.
Okay, well, it says that this is Dr. Ahmed al-Zu'bi. That's what he said.
Because هو دكتور صيدلي.
Yes, well, it said, is a physician, is a doctor, so that's good. So tell us, what's the relation between mental health and technology and learning online? Dr. Ahmed.
By the way, he's a first-year student, and this is his first term.
Okay, fine. So thank you, Dr. Ahmed. My friend, Director Michael Sandy, do you think there is something positive turned to be really good for our study abroad opportunities?
Well, thank you, Dr. Jabbar. I certainly think that there's a place for virtual, but we are social beings. We are very much looking forward to getting back to the human interaction. And if the pandemic has given any insight for me, it's that we know that clearer now than ever before across ages and cultures and locations. We know that we need to interact with ourselves, with humanity, and I think there's going to be a strong demand for it. Now, the virtual, although there's limitations and struggles with it, I think it does offer us an opportunity to augment the actual student and faculty mobility, the human mobility. We can use virtual opportunities to get to know each other and break down some of those early, introduction barriers, so that when we do get to be face to face, we can be have an opportunity for authentic exchange and learning from each other. So I think there's a point. And I think the virtual also gives us a chance to keep the relationship going, which is nice too.
Thank you so much. And I would like to bring Dr. Wankaito, if he's available. I see that, he's with us. Probably share with us his experience with the pandemic and COVID-19 in terms of learning and teaching. Dr. To.
Dr. Alobidyeen, I apologize for just turning in right now. I had a meeting from.
It's not a problem at all. I know. So don't worry about it. You are here with us anyway.
Attended and just missed the first hour of your presentation and discussion. And I think if the idea is to talk about how we continue global engagement during the pandemic and beyond, I think that's the question. I think we are all trying to do our best over the last 20 months. And just really beginning from March 2020, we've been trying to continue to think about all aspects of global engagement. So one of the advantages of Bridgewater State University is that we have a very supportive president and provost who continue to make sure that all the staff and faculty members who are doing good work in global engagement can continue to work on what they have been trying to do, even though they had to wait a little bit to travel. When we think about global engagement, there's the idea of comprehensive internationalization, which is used by many educators about the need for higher education institutions across the world to think about a comprehensive international experience for every single student. Obviously, not all international experiences are the same. The COVID-19 pandemic has enabled us to use Zoom to operate and also organize a lot of educational events and activities relating to global programs. I believe that from March 2020, we organized close to 50 events or close to 100 events by different units of our Global Engagement Institute. We also started to develop COIL, which is the Collaborative Online International Learning for about 6 classes this semester. So this is part of the online learning we're doing that the university has a role to play. But we have to think about that online learning and in-person learning, global learning, they are a continuum. When you think about global learning has many different dimensions. So they're not mutually exclusive. So when you go abroad, you still need to rely on technology to continue to connect with students. And when you are not going abroad, you can also utilize online technologies. So like the grant that we received about the MENA region, I think it's open doors and broaden our communication with each other. And I think especially among the faculty members in terms of global engagement. So I hope the next step is that we can bring more students together in these virtual programs so they can work with each other between the students in the MENA region and the students at BSU. And I'm sure that Dr. Alobidyeen and Dr. McClendon would be continuing using some of the grant to facilitate these kinds of collaborations. We really hope that there will be more opportunities for students from the MENA region to participate in our programs. Maybe we can offer some credit courses or short-term programs for the students from the MENA region. Even though we have done a lot by traveling to Jordan and getting the professors from Jordan to come here. Whether we can go to Jordan and Morocco or not next summer, we can do something before that, making sure that next semester we will have opportunities for students in Jordan to work with our students here at BSU. So that's my hope. Thank you, Dr. Alobidyeen.
Thank you, Doctor. We share your hope. We are optimistic, and I think, you know, it's really all this carried by some of our faculty here at Bridgewater State University. But at the same time, for example, at TTU, we have Dr. Buthina, and I'll say this loudly and very frankly to our students from Jordan faculty. Dr. Buthina has been with us from day one. Is working diligently and you know, really spare no time to do the COIL or virtual exchange program. So I was working with Dr. Chawan and you from management and marketing, and also our friend Dr. Khalil Katauna, and both your professor for Jordanian students and colleagues. But Dr. Khalil Katauna and Dr. Buthina, they taught actually Arabic on our campus, and other, especially Dr. Khalil, first year and second year seminar years ago. So, as Wankai, Dr. Wankai told, because if you don't know him, he's professor of history and he is the assistant provost for global engagement. So we work together. And Michael Sandy, Mr. Michael Sandy is the director of study abroad. So keep in touch with us. You know, put your please write your email if you have not done so we can share the recording with you, and also be in touch. For students, as Dr. O mentioned, there are a lot of opportunities for you on this campus, and I said that yesterday. I've been saying this since Monday, which is November 15. We're really trying to translate what our President Fred Clark said. Our campus, that's a Bridgewater State University campus, is your campus. And we really take this close to heart and mind, and we would like to make sure that we translate it into action to benefit our students, faculty, and the larger community. Dr. Buthina, thank you so much for very, very enlightening and very informative, really presentation. I will send it to Laura, my friend, to do closing remarks.
Okay, hello. Thank you so much, Dr. Buthina, for the very interesting opportunity to be able to have this exchange, for all of us to be able to learn about what e-learning has done for all of us across the globe. It is both a set of challenges and a set of opportunities. It was really nice to be able to see the information that you shared with us that I think correlates probably very closely with our experience in the US. About the numbers of students who were participating, what the effect was on faculty, the fact that students were using their smartphones to be able to learn the material from online, the digital divide. You raised a lot of really important issues. So thank you very much. Thank you to all of the students who participated. We really enjoy being able to interact with you. Thank you to Dr. Jabbar Alobidyeen, the academic director, and Dr. Wing Kai To for your participation and your good words about what the opportunities are for continued international engagement.